Now, I'm ready.
Okay, now, as soon as you get done with the fifth wheel, you drop down here on the bottom. You say, the next I'm gonna check my dry shaft. Make sure my dry shaft is not bent, broke, or cracked. Make sure there's nothing in the way that will stop it from spinning. Make sure my nuts and bolts are tight. Start from the inside, work your way on out. Your airlines one more time. Check my airlines. Make sure they're not cracked or broke or leaking. Fittings are tight. My brake chamber, it's not being broken, cracked, or leaking. All my nuts and bolts are tight. My slack adjuster, not being broken, cracked. All my cotter pins, all my bolts are all there and tight. I should have no more than 2 inches of play of slack in my slack adjuster. How would I check it? Chalk the wheels, release the brakes, come back here and mark the rod. Go back in the truck, set the brakes, come back here and measure it. More than 2 inches, I need to adjust. From there, I'm going to go to my leaf springs and U-bolts. Once again, not been broken, cracked, nuts and bolts are all there and tight. I'm going to check my spring mounts, front and back. Make sure they're not been broken, cracked. All my nuts and bolts are all there and tight. Down here, it's called a torsion bar. Check my torsion bar. Make sure it's not been broken, cracked. All my nuts and bolts are tight. Next, brakes and drums. Make sure they're not been broken, cracked. Make sure I'm looking for signs of oil, grease, excessive heat. 1/4 inch minimum on my brake pads. Next, once again, check my tires, 2/32, tread and sidewalls. Make sure there's no chunks, screws, nails. Make sure they're riding evenly. Same size tire, nothing in my duals, between my duals. Come around, here's my rim. Make sure it's not been broken, cracked, no illegal welds. My lug nuts, making sure they're all there. They're tight. There's no rust behind it to indicate that they're loose. This right here is an axle. Check my axle. Make sure it's not being broken, cracked, or leaking. Make sure my nuts and bolts are all there and tight. Come back here. You check your mud flap. Make sure it's not cracked or broken. All your nuts and bolts are all there and tight. Next will be your shocks and airbags. Once again, make sure they're not being broken, cracked, or leaking. You check those with the make sure they all the nuts and bolts are all there and tight. Next will be your tail lights. Check that. Make sure it's clean, not cracked or